What's up and welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. If you're a fan of fragrances or fragrance related content, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post from here going forward. Father's Day is just around the corner and I thought that now would be a perfect time to give you all a few recommendations for some potential Father's Day gifts. Now before we get into the list, I do want to say dads love when you save money. So make sure that you're not going out here and buying these fragrances at full retail price. Shop smart, plan ahead, buy them from discount sites, and save some money this holiday. Now we do have a mix of fragrances on this list. I have a few designers and I have a couple, I guess you could say clones or dupes. So everything on here should be in a fairly affordable range. I think the two most expensive are closer to that $90, maybe even $100 range, depending on where and when you find it. But the majority of fragrances on this list, you'll probably be able to find them for below $50. Now, our first fragrance on the list is a designer, and it is from the house of Mont Blanc, and it is Mont Blanc Legend. Now, this one is a bit citrusy and woody. It definitely takes a lot of inspiration from Creed's Aventus. So if you're familiar with that DNA, you'll find something very similar here. Not necessarily at that level of quality, but it's also not at that price. Now, while this one is a bit citrusy and fresh, it still maintains some depth and some character due to some woody and more earthy elements. The main notes that you're going to get out of this one is bergamot, some peppery notes, as well as a heavy dose of ambroxan and a bit of patchouli. This is one that is definitely very versatile. Your dad could wear this one as his go-to easy wear everyday fragrance. He can wear it to work. You can wear it for just about anything. So this is one that I do strongly believe if you pick this one up as a gift, your dad will probably really enjoy this one. And it can be found at a pretty decent price. I see this one going for around that $40-ish range. But if you find maybe even a tester bottle or just a really good sale, you can probably find this one for below $35. Now the next one on our list is going to be a clone. It is from the house of Lattafa, and it is Lattafa's Assad. Now this one, once again, kind of leans in that fresh, spicy type of a nuance, but it is a little warmer than the previous one that I mentioned. Now there's quite a bit going on in this fragrance. You have some black pepper, some tobacco, pineapple, amber, vanilla. There's a lot going on in here, but overall it ends up smelling like a fresh, spicy, slightly vanillic scent. If you are a fan, or if your dad is a fan of Dior Sauvage Elixir, which is a much more grown up and mature take on the original Dior Sauvage DNA, then he will probably be a fan of this one. Now, I will say that this one, in my opinion, is a little more wearable and a little more versatile than Dior Sauvage Elixir. It takes some of that aggressive nature and tones it down a bit and adds a slightly sweet vanillic note. Not vanillic to the point that this one, I would say, comes across sweet, but it helps to tone the fragrance down. Now, the reason I think that this one would be a perfect gift for a dad, not to mention the price, you can easily find this one for around that $20 to $25 range. But also there's something about it that really reminds me of old school fragrances, but it still has a bit of a modern day kick, a modern day flair to it that makes it very highly complimented and easy to wear in 2025. So if your dad's maybe a bit more on that traditional masculine side, maybe even a bit nostalgic, this is one that will be new to his collection that I think he would really enjoy. So once again, from the house of Lattafa, we have Lattafa's Assad. Next on our list, we're bringing it back to the designers, and this one is Dior Homme Original. Now this one, the main notes that you're getting is going to be some iris, some cardamom, and some vetiver, but I do think there's more going on in this fragrance. It comes across a bit balsamic. There's like a slight creamy nature to the fragrance. Not creamy in like a sweet sense, but it just is so smooth that it almost comes across buttery. So if your dad's maybe more on the smooth and suave side of things, I think this is one that he would really enjoy. So if your dad is usually pretty well dressed, really pays a lot of attention to how he looks and how he presents himself, this is a fragrance that I think would match his vibe very, very well. Now, while it does have a prominent note of iris, it does not lean into that overly feminine or that makeup-y type of a thing. This one to me still leans fairly masculine. This one is very sleek, very smooth, very manicured and put together, and I think that it would fit the vibe of a dad that fits those descriptions. So once again, from the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme Original. Now bringing it back to the clones, we have one from the house of Afnan, and it is Tarathi Blue. Now this is going to be Afnan's take on the Bulgari Tiger DNA. With this one, you're getting some citrusy notes, some musky nuances, as well as some earthy wood style notes. Overall, it ends up smelling very fresh, but a bit spicy and woody that gives it a very traditional masculine flair in my opinion. This is one that is extremely easy to wear, very, I would say, inoffensive, and it makes a perfect gift in my opinion. Because of how easy it wears, that makes it very easy to gift. And you can also find this one usually around the $30 to $35 price tag, which makes it super affordable. So if your dad's someone who values versatility, maybe he's out and about doing a lot of different things, your weekend warrior type of a dad, this is probably the best fragrance on this list for that type of a father. It could easily be dressed up, dressed down. He could wear it to work. He could wear it to the gym. He could wear it to go to a parent-teacher day. It doesn't really matter. Dad can wear this one for just about anything. So once again, from the house of Afnan, we have Tarathi Blue. Now the next one on our list is one that, to me personally, is almost synonymous with dads. I think of this fragrance when I think of dads. And this one is going to be from the house of Giorgio Armani, and it is Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now, unfortunately, you cannot go and just easily find Profumo, but if you can find Acqua di Gio Parfum, it is virtually the same DNA as this one, just with some slight tweaks. Now, for me, growing up, I feel like I smelled Acqua di Gio, the original DNA, on just about every dad out there. And this is kind of a more mature, grown-up take on that original DNA. It's got some sea notes and some bergamot up top that gives it a bit of a marine citrusy flair. But in the mid, there's rosemary, geranium, and sage that gives it that traditional masculine aromatic touch. And then in the base, you have some incense and patchouli. And that incense and patchouli is what gives this one that added mature vibe. I remember the first time when I smelled this DNA when I was like in high school, I think. And I remember thinking to myself, now that is what a dad smells like. So of course I had to put this fragrance at the top of my list of Father's Day scents. To me, it smells like someone who is very well put together, someone who's very professional, someone who is responsible and always on top of their game. For those serious dads, those get it done type of a dads, the ones who kind of embody what a father is, I think this is one that you should look at. And once again, it's from Giorgio Armani, and it is Acqua di Gio Profumo. But that is going to be it for my list today of fragrances that I think would make wonderful gifts for the dads out there for this upcoming Father's Day. Drop a comment down below and let me know what are some fragrances that you think would make an amazing gift for a dad this holiday. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It does so much to support the channel. And until next time, peace.